Chosen one, God is not preparing something for you. God prepared it a long time ago. It has been finished, complete, detailed, and waiting, while you spent years wondering if anything was happening at all. Every silent prayer, every sleepless night, every moment you questioned whether your faith was real or foolish, none of it was ignored. But here is what shifts everything. The reason you could not see what was already in front of you has nothing to do with worthiness. It has nothing to do with timing. It has to do with a limitation inside your brain, a frequency your mind was locked out of since childhood, that science has only recently begun to understand. And something in you is unlocking right now. You can feel it, not in your circumstances, in your awareness. A strange sharpness, a quiet knowing, a sense that what is about to be revealed in this message was the reason your spirit would not let you rest tonight. What I am about to walk you through is a cascade of revelations, each one deeper than the last. The first will show you why your eyes were covered. The second will reveal what God built behind that covering. The third will expose the one force that almost kept you blind forever. And the final revelation, the one the entire universe held its breath for, will show you exactly who you are and what was placed inside you before you were born. Do not leave before that moment arrives. Everything before it is preparation. Everything after it is transformation. Right now, you are the seed still underground. You cannot see the sun. You cannot see the garden that was planted around you. But the roots are already deep. And what I need you to understand before we go any further is that the darkness you have been sitting in was never a grave. It was soil, and seeds do not need to see the sun to grow toward it. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because by the time we reach the final revelation, you will not just understand why you were stuck. You will have a specific framework to recalibrate your perception. And I will speak something over your life, an activation, a commissioning that I believe will stay with you long after you leave this space. Those three things are waiting for you at the end. But each revelation builds on the one before it. You cannot skip ahead. Your spirit needs every layer. Now, let me show you the first revelation, why your eyes were covered. There are signs happening in your life right now that most people would dismiss. But you are not most people. And these signs are not random. They are evidence that your spiritual perception is beginning to shift, even before you fully understand what is happening. Let me walk you through them, and I want you to pay close attention, because the more of these you recognize, the clearer your identity becomes. The first sign is a change in your dreams. Not nightmares, something different. Your dreams have become unusually vivid lately, almost more real than your waking life. You wake up, and the images stay with you for hours, sometimes days. You are searching for something in these dreams, or arriving somewhere that feels ancient and familiar at the same time, and you cannot explain why it matters so much, but it does. The second sign is a shift in your tolerance. Things that used to comfort you have started to suffocate you. Conversations that once felt normal now feel shallow and draining. Environments you used to enjoy now make your skin crawl, and you keep pulling away from people and places without being able to explain why. You are not becoming cold, you are becoming calibrated. Your frequency is rising, and everything that vibrates below it is starting to feel unbearable. The third sign is an exhaustion that has no medical explanation. You are tired, but not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. It sits deep in your bones, behind your eyes, at the base of your skull. You have been to doctors. You have adjusted your diet. You have tried sleeping more. And none of it touches this fatigue, because this is not physical tiredness. This is the weight of spiritual transformation pressing down on a body that has not yet adjusted to the new frequency it is being pulled into. The fourth sign is emotional waves that arrive without warning. One moment you are fine, and the next, tears are falling, and you have no idea why. Or a sudden wave of peace washes over you in the middle of chaos, or grief rises from nowhere and sits on your chest like a stone. These are not mood swings. These are not hormonal. These are the tremors that happen when tectonic plates inside your spirit begin to shift position. And the fifth sign is a deep, persistent sense that something enormous is approaching. Nothing in your circumstances has visibly changed. Your bank account looks the same. Your relationships look the same. Your daily routine looks the same. But underneath all of it, something is humming, a frequency you cannot name but you feel in every quiet moment, telling you that the life you are living right now is about to become unrecognizable. If you recognize 3 or more of those signs in your own life, type 777 in the comments right now. Not because it is a magic number, because that number is your acknowledgement that what is happening inside you is real, and you are no longer willing to ignore it. Now, let me show you something. Let me show you the exact moment this blindness lives. Imagine it is late at night. The house is quiet. Everyone else is asleep or gone or somewhere you cannot reach them. You are sitting in the dim light of a screen, scrolling through nothing, looking for something you cannot name. The glass of the window is cold if you lean against it, and outside, the world moves on, headlights passing, lives continuing, and there is this hollow space in your chest that has been there so long, you have stopped trying to fill it. And, in that silence, a thought rises, a thought you would never say out loud to anyone. What if I am wasting my life believing in something that is not real? I need you to hear me. That thought is not doubt. That thought is the last gasp of a perception system that is dying so a new one can be born. The confusion you have been carrying was never chaos. It was recalibration. And the blindness you thought was punishment was never punishment. It was incubation. God was not hiding things from you. God was growing your capacity to hold what was coming, because what was prepared for you is so vast that if you had seen it with your old eyes, it would have crushed you before you were ready to carry it. Notice something right now. Notice how your shoulders carry a weight that does not belong to your body. Notice how your mind has been louder than usual, racing at hours when the world is silent. And notice how your spirit has felt crowded, even when you are physically alone in an empty room. That is not anxiety. That is your entire system upgrading. And the discomfort you feel is the exact same discomfort a seed feels when the shell begins to crack. If all I told you today was that these signs mean your season is shifting, that alone would be enough to change the way you move through this week. But that is not why this message was placed in front of you. There is something else happening. Something in your biology, in the physical structure of your brain, that explains why this blindness was not just spiritual. It was neurological. And what I am about to show you next is the part that changes everything. When I said your brain was part of the reason you could not see what God prepared, I was not speaking in metaphor. I was speaking about a specific frequency inside your neural architecture that scientists have only recently begun to map. A frequency so powerful that researchers at MIT and Princeton called it the super brainwave. Its name is gamma. And here is what you need to understand about gamma. When you were a child, this frequency was fully active. That is why you learned faster than the adults around you could explain. That is why your imagination was limitless, why your creativity poured out of you like water, why your instincts were sharp and your sense of wonder was bottomless. You were not just a bright kid. You were operating on a frequency that most adults had already lost. You could feel things before they happened. You could read a room before anyone spoke. You could sense danger, sense opportunity, sense truth in ways that made the grown-ups around you quietly uncomfortable. That was gamma. That was the preparation. That was what God placed inside you at birth, a built-in antenna tuned to the frequency of genius, of intuition, of divine connection. And then something happened. Scientists call it the decline effect. Beginning around the age of 7, the modern world, the education system, the constant noise, the screens, the pressure to conform, all of it begins to systematically suppress your gamma frequency. Year by year, the signal gets weaker, the antenna rusts. The child who used to see everything begins to see less and less, until one day you wake up and you are an adult who prays but cannot hear, who believes but cannot perceive, who carries a calling so heavy it bends your spine, but you cannot see where it leads. That is not a spiritual failure. That is a biological event that happened to you without your knowledge or consent. And here is what breaks my heart about it. You were not an ordinary child. You were a chosen one. You were born with gamma stronger than most people ever experience. That is why you felt everything so deeply, why you learned so quickly, why your intuition was so razor-sharp that it scared the people around you. And because your gamma was higher than average, the decline effect hit you harder than it hit anyone else. The distance between who you were as a child and who you feel like today, that gap is not failure. That gap is gamma. And it was stolen from you by a world that profits from keeping your perception dim. Let me take you deeper. There is a word in the original Hebrew that changes everything about this message. The title says, "You will finally see what God prepared." But the word "see" in the original language is not what most people think. In Hebrew, the word is ra'ah, and ra does not mean to look at something with your eyes. It means to perceive with full understanding, to comprehend the essence of what you are witnessing. In the book of Genesis, when God created the heavens and the earth, the scripture says, God saw that it was good. That word is ra'ah. God did not glance at creation. God perceived its entire nature, its purpose, its design, its destiny, in a single act of seeing. And here is what I need you to catch. When this message says, the universe has been waiting for you to finally see what God prepared, it is not talking about looking at your life with better optimism. It is talking about receiving the same quality of perception that God used when he declared creation good. RAH, sight that penetrates surface, cuts through fog, and perceives the architecture of what was designed for you before you drew your first breath. That is the kind of seeing your gamma was built for. And that is the kind of seeing the decline effect took away. Think about Joseph, not a metaphor, a real figure in the sacred texts whose story mirrors yours in ways that might make you uncomfortable. Joseph could see what others could not. He interpreted dreams. He perceived patterns. He sensed the trajectory of nations while his own brothers could not see past their jealousy. Joseph's gift was Ra. Joseph's frequency was Gamma, and the world punished him for it. His brothers threw him into a pit. He was sold. He was imprisoned. He was forgotten. And for years, it looked like everything God prepared for him was a cruel joke. But it was not. Every pit, every prison, every year of silence was building a root system so deep that when Joseph finally broke the surface, no storm on earth could uproot him. The darkness was not a grave. It was a greenhouse. And what grew in that darkness was a leader who could see famine before it arrived, who could perceive solutions while entire governments panicked, who could stand before a king and say with quiet authority, "I know what is coming, and I know what to do." You are Joseph before the palace. The dreams you carry are not delusions, they are Gamma, and your season underground is not evidence that God forgot you. It is evidence that what God is building requires a foundation this deep. If something in your understanding just shifted, if the pieces are starting to connect in a way they never have before, type "I see it" in the comments, because that shift you feel right now is your RRR beginning to return. A neuroscientist named Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years studying this exact phenomenon. His research, conducted across institutions including MIT and Princeton and several other leading universities, mapped the precise frequencies that were active in your childhood but went dormant as the decline effect took hold. His body of work, including what he calls the Youthful Brain Protocol, represents one of the most comprehensive studies on gamma reactivation ever conducted. I will tell you more about what he discovered later in this message. But what matters right now is this: the frequency that was taken from you can be restored. The antenna can be repaired. The seed that was frozen underground can begin to grow, and it does not require years of meditation or thousands of dollars in equipment. It requires something much simpler and much more precise. But I am getting ahead of myself. Before I show you that, before I reveal the tool that bridges neuroscience and the divine in a way that will stun you, there is a third revelation you must hear first. Because there is a force, an active, strategic, deliberate force that has been working overtime to make sure you never see what God prepared. And understanding that force is the difference between freedom and staying blind for another decade. Before we go there, I want to ask you to do something. Gently press the like button right now, not for me, so this message can reach someone else who has been wondering why their gift disappeared, someone else whose gamma was stolen, and who has been living below their frequency without knowing why. Your single action can place this truth in front of the one person who needs it most tonight. And I hear the Father saying something right now. I feel these words being placed on my heart for you specifically. My child, I did not hide this from you to hurt you. I hid it because the brightness of what I prepared would have burned you before your roots were deep enough to hold it. Every year of silence was a year of construction. Every prayer you thought I ignored was a prayer I answered in a dimension your old eyes could not access. But your eyes are changing now, and what you are about to see will make every second of waiting worth it. Most people left this message a long time ago, but you are still here. You stayed. And that tells me something profound about the frequency you are already operating at. Your gamma is not fully dormant. Something in you recognized the signal in this message before your conscious mind could even process it. That recognition, that pull that would not let you leave, that is the same pull Joseph felt in the darkness of the pit. It is the knowing that something bigger is happening, even when nothing visible confirms it. Now, let me tell you what is really happening, and why there are forces that benefit from keeping your perception exactly where it is. There is something I need to say to you right now that might be difficult to hear, but if I do not say it, everything else in this message becomes decoration. And I did not come here to decorate. I came here to liberate. The force that almost kept you blind forever is not a person. It is not a circumstance. It is not bad luck. The force I am talking about lives inside your own mind, and it wears the disguise of humility. It whispers in a voice that sounds like yours, and it says things like, "This cannot be for me. People like me do not get breakthroughs like this. I have been waiting too long. I must have done something wrong. Who am I to think God prepared something extraordinary for my life?" That voice is not your conscience. That voice is not wisdom. That voice is the last lock on the door between you and everything God designed for your life. And it has a name. It is called unworthiness. And it has been running your decisions, your expectations, and your perception for so long that you stopped questioning it. You accepted it as truth. You wore it like a second skin. And every time you got close to something beautiful, every time a door cracked open, Every time a prayer seemed like it might actually be answered, that voice tightened its grip and said, "Do not get your hopes up. You know how this ends. But here is what I need you to understand. Unworthiness is not humility. Humility says, I did not earn this, but I will steward it. Unworthiness says, I do not deserve this, so I will sabotage it. They sound similar, but one opens doors and the other welds them shut. And you have been welding doors shut that God spent decades building for you. Now, there is a layer beneath this that I must expose, and I need you to stay with me because this is where it gets uncomfortable. The decline effect, the suppression of your gamma frequency, did not happen by accident. There are systems in this world, educational systems, media systems, consumer systems, that function more efficiently when your perception is dim. When your gamma is suppressed, you consume more than you create. You follow more than you lead. You doubt more than you decide. And there are entire industries built on that doubt. Entire economies sustained by your confusion. Entire structures that profit when a chosen one like you stays operating at a fraction of their capacity. I am not telling you this to make you angry. I am telling you this so you understand that the blindness you have been experiencing was not just spiritual, and it was not just neurological. It was strategic. And the combination of the decline effect, suppressing your gamma from the outside, while unworthiness locked the door from the inside, created a prison so complete that most people never escape it. But you are not most people. And the fact that you are still listening right now, the fact that these words are landing in a place inside you that nothing else has been able to reach, that is not random. That is not coincidence. That is not your imagination. And that is not an accident. If you just gave yourself permission, even for a moment, to believe that what I am describing is real, then type "I receive" in the comments right now. Let that be your first act of defiance against the voice that told you this was not for you. Now, I want to speak directly to something that has been sitting on your chest. You have been feeling guilty, not about something you did, but about something you are becoming. You have been pulling away from people. You have been less available, less patient, less willing to explain yourself. And the guilt of that has been eating you alive because the old version of you would never do that. The old version of you would sacrifice everything to keep everyone comfortable. But the old version of you was operating on a suppressed frequency, and the person you are becoming does not have the bandwidth to carry everyone else's expectations while simultaneously waking up to the most important revelation of your life. So let me say what no one else is going to say to you. You are allowed to outgrow people without apologizing for it. You are allowed to protect what is being built inside you, even if others cannot see it yet. You are allowed to stop explaining yourself to people who only understand the version of you that was asleep. You are allowed to receive what God prepared without earning it, proving it, or justifying it to anyone. And you do not owe a single soul an apology for becoming who you were always designed to be. Now let me give you something practical, because revelation without application is just entertainment, and I did not bring you this far to entertain you. I want to teach you a framework that I call the sight restoration practice. It has 3 steps, and you can begin using it tonight. The first step is called the frequency check. Once a day, preferably in the evening, I want you to ask yourself one question. What drained my energy today and what restored it? Do not write a journal entry. Do not analyze it. Just notice, because your gamma responds to environments, relationships, and activities that match its frequency, and it shuts down in the presence of things that do not. When you start noticing what drains you versus what restores you, you are mapping the landscape of your own awakening. The second step is the silence protocol, 7 minutes. That is all. 7 minutes of intentional stillness where you are not consuming anything, not producing anything, not solving anything. You are simply sitting in the frequency of your own spirit without trying to fix it or escape it. This is not meditation. This is not prayer in the traditional sense. This is giving your gamma 7 minutes of uninterrupted space to begin remembering what it was designed to do. And the third step is the declaration lock. Before you look for confirmation from the outside world, before you check your phone, before you ask anyone else what they think, you speak your identity out loud. Not affirmations, declarations. There is a difference. An affirmation says, I am trying to believe this about myself. A declaration says, this is who I am, and reality will adjust. You speak it first. Confirmation follows, not the other way around. The frequency check, the silence protocol, the declaration lock, 3 steps. Use them starting tonight. Type I release in the comments if you are ready to let go of the unworthiness that has been blocking your sight. Let that word be the key that turns in the lock. Now, before I take you into the final and most important revelation of this entire message, I need to tell you a story, not about a figure from ancient texts, about someone alive right now, someone like you. 7 years, that is how long he waited. A man, 47 years old, who once had a thriving business, a clear sense of direction, and the kind of quiet confidence that made people trust him without knowing why. And then, in a single season, it all collapsed. The business dissolved, the relationships fractured, the clarity evaporated. And for 7 years, he lived in a fog so thick that he began to believe the person he used to be was a lie. He tried everything: prayer, fasting, programs, coaches, books. Nothing penetrated the fog. And in the 7th year, when he was closer to giving up than he had ever been, something shifted. Not in his circumstances, in his perception. He described it as if someone had cleaned a window he did not even know was dirty. Within 3 weeks of that shift, a business opportunity appeared from a source he had never contacted. A relationship that had been dead for years suddenly began to breathe again, and a clarity returned to his mind that was sharper than anything he had experienced, even in his best years. He told me later that he had discovered something called neuroactive as part of a deeper journey, but that the first domino, the thing that started the entire chain reaction, was much simpler than he expected. He said it did not feel like a miracle. It felt like remembering, like his brain had finally been given permission to operate the way it was always meant to. He proved himself in silence before he promoted himself in public. And his story is not unique. It is a pattern. It is what happens when a chosen one stops fighting the fog and starts restoring the frequency. And before this message ends, I am going to speak something over your life. Not a regular prayer, an activation, a commissioning, something I believe will stay with you and work inside you long after you leave this space. That moment is coming. But first, you need to hear the final revelation, the one the entire universe has been holding its breath for. You have been listening for a long time now. That is not casual. That is not background noise. Something inside you recognized that this message carries what your spirit has been searching for, and you refuse to leave before receiving it. That refusal is not stubbornness. It is gamma. Remember in the beginning when I said the universe was waiting for one single event? You are about to understand what that event is. Here it is, the final revelation, and I need you to hear every word. Your eyes were covered because your capacity was not yet ready. Your gamma was suppressed because the world needed you dim to keep you controllable. And unworthiness became the internal lock that matched the external suppression, creating a double seal over your perception that made it impossible for you to see what was right in front of you. But all three of those barriers are shifting right now, in this very moment. Your capacity has expanded through every season of suffering you survived. Your gamma is stirring. You can feel it in the strange sharpness that brought you to this message. And the lock of unworthiness. You just released it when you typed those words in the comments. You may not have realized what you were doing, but your spirit knew. Every declaration you made, every I receive, every I release, every I see it, was a key turning in a lock that has been sealed for years. This is the event the universe was waiting for. Not a cosmic calendar date, not a planetary alignment. You, your perception returning, your frequency rising, your eyes opening wide enough to finally hold the magnitude of what was prepared. And here is who you really are. You are the seer, the one who perceives what others cannot, who reads rooms before anyone speaks, who feels the trajectory of things before they happen. That is not anxiety. That is your design. You are the light bearer. You carry illumination into spaces that have gone dark, not because you try to, but because you cannot help it. Your presence changes the atmosphere of every room you enter, and you have never understood why certain people are drawn to you and others are repelled. Now you know. Light attracts those who are ready and threatens those who are not. You are the pioneer. You go first into territory no one else is willing to explore, so that others can follow the path you cut. The loneliness you feel is not rejection. It is the cost of being the first one through the wall. You are the truth carrier. You cannot live inauthentically. It physically hurts you to pretend, to perform, to wear masks that do not fit your face. That is not stubbornness. That is integrity woven into your very cells. And you are the hope restorer. You revive what others have abandoned. Relationships, dreams, people, entire rooms that had given up. Something in your frequency refuses to let dead things stay dead. If your spirit just confirmed what was declared over you, type, I am ready with every ounce of conviction in your chest. Not as a wish, as a declaration, as an announcement to the spiritual realm that the chosen one has opened their eyes and is no longer willing to live blind. If all I gave you today was this identity revelation, it would be enough to change your life. I believe that with everything in me. But there is something else. Something. A neuroscientist named Dr. Robert Lake discovered that turns this revelation from understanding into activation, from knowing who you are into biologically becoming who you are. Earlier, I mentioned that scientists found gamma can be reactivated through a technology called brain entrainment. Let me tell you now what that means for a chosen one like you. You were born with gamma stronger than most people will ever experience. That is why you learned fast and felt deep and sensed things that scared the adults around you. And because your gamma was higher than average, the decline effect stole more from you than it stole from anyone else. The gap between the child you were and the adult you became is not a character flaw. That gap is the exact measurement of gamma that was taken from you, and everything, your stalled finances, your fractured relationships, your foggy decisions, your prayers that felt like they were hitting a ceiling, all of it traces back to that one suppressed frequency. Now, traditionally, the only ways to reactivate gamma were brutal. Biofeedback therapy at $300 per session, sometimes for months. Specialized equipment costing $7,000 or more, or years of intensive meditation with no guarantee it would even work. These methods existed, but they were locked behind walls of money and time that most people could never climb. Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years finding another way. He took the core technology behind brain entrainment, the same science validated in research labs at MIT and Princeton and several other leading universities, and he compressed it into a single 7-minute audio track. You put on headphones, you sit in a chair, you close your eyes, and for 7 minutes, the track speaks directly to your neural pathways, gently guiding your brain back to the gamma frequency that was active when you were a child. No meditation required, no mantras, no journaling, no expensive equipment. 7 minutes. He calls it the genius song. I understand if something in you is skeptical right now. That skepticism is the fingerprint of someone who has been disappointed before, and I would never ask you to abandon your discernment. But I want you to notice something. This is not another promise from another voice on the internet. This is measured, repeatable, documented neuroscience. The results have been replicated across multiple studies. Over 18,000 people have already used this technology and reported shifts in clarity, intuition, decision-making, and what many of them describe simply as finally being able to hear God again. And I would never disrespect your financial situation. I know that for many people listening right now, every dollar is a decision that carries weight. I honor that. So, let me share what Dr. Lake decided to do, because this part is important. The traditional methods to achieve what this audio track achieves would cost you anywhere from $7,000 for the equipment to hundreds of dollars per session for professional biofeedback. Dr. Lake compressed all of that into a 7-minute track and originally priced it at $49. But because his mission was never commercial, because he specifically wanted this to reach the people who need it most, and not just the people who can afford the most, he created a special access point for audiences like this one. Through the link in the description and the pinned comment below, you can access the Genius Song for $39. That price is not available on Amazon. It is not available on Spotify. It is not available anywhere else. It exists only through that link. And it comes with 4 additional tools at no extra cost. An audio track designed to help children restore their focus and confidence. The original book that inspired the film The Secret, a book about real financial principles that sells for $20 on Amazon, included free. A guided visualization that walks you through your ideal future in 4 areas: finances, relationships, health, and happiness. And an infographic of the 5 most important daily habits for creating lasting change, something you can reference every morning. All of that, the 7-minute gamma restoration track, the 4 bonuses, and a complete 100% money-back guarantee with no conditions for $39. That comes out to about 10 cents a day for an entire year of use. And if you try it and feel nothing, you get every penny back. No questions, no judgment. The only risk is not trying. Every day your gamma remains dormant is a day your prayers reach a lower frequency than they were designed to carry. Every day you wait is a day. Decisions stay foggy, relationships stay disconnected, and the fullness of what God prepared stays just beyond the edge of your perception. The future version of you, the one who has already seen what was prepared, the one who already walks in the clarity and authority of restored gamma, that version is looking back at this exact moment as the turning point. Not because the decision was perfect, because it was the first step. There is one thing I must warn you about. Because this technology has gained attention, there are counterfeit versions circulating online that use the same name but do not contain the real brain entrainment science. They are ordinary audio files dressed up to look legitimate, and they will do nothing for your frequency. The only way to receive the authentic track with the full technology, all 4 bonuses, and the complete money-back guarantee is through the link in the description and the pinned comment of this message. Do not search for it on Amazon or YouTube or Spotify. Those versions are not real. For those whose spirit resonates with what I just shared, the link is in the description and the pinned comment below. Explore it only if you feel led. Only if something inside you confirms that this is the next step on your path. There is a phrase that keeps returning to my spirit as I say all of this to you. Destiny's embrace. I cannot fully explain it yet, but I believe it is connected to the next phase of your journey. The phase that begins after your gamma is restored and your perception is fully open. For now, just hold that phrase. You will understand it when the time is right. Now, take a breath. The heaviest truth has been spoken, the deepest revelation has been delivered, and what remains is something sacred. Let everything I just said settle for a moment. Do not rush to process it. Do not try to organize it in your mind. Just let it rest where it landed. Here is what I want you to see. Revelation 1 showed you that your perception was being protected and calibrated, not punished. Revelation 2 showed you that your gamma, your God-given frequency of genius, was suppressed by a world that profits from your blindness. Revelation 3 exposed the force that almost kept you sealed, the combination of unworthiness within and suppression without. And the final revelation showed you who you actually are, not who the fog told you that you were. All four revelations point to the same truth. You were always the one God prepared this for. The only thing that changed today is that you can finally see it. And you are not alone in this. Right now, all across the world, chosen ones are going through this exact same shift. Thousands of them are listening to messages like this one, feeling the same stirring, recognizing the same signs, releasing the same locks. You are part of something much larger than your individual life, and the awakening you are experiencing tonight is connected to an awakening that is happening across the entire planet. Now, before we close this message, I want to do something with you, not for you, with you. In your mind right now, I want you to stand at a threshold. You do not need to move your body, just see it. Behind you is every season of waiting, every unanswered prayer, every tear that fell in a room where no one was watching. Every night, you questioned whether any of this was real. All of it is behind you. You can feel the weight of it at your back. And before you, there is a room. And in that room is everything God prepared. The table is set. The lights are warm. There is a seat with your name carved into it. And the door is open. It has been open for longer than you know. You just could not see it until now. Feel the weight shift. Feel the heaviness move from your chest to the ground beneath you. Feel something lighter, something warmer, something that has been waiting for years to fill the space that grief and doubt and exhaustion have been occupying. Let it settle into your bones. This is not imagination. This is activation. This is commissioning. I want to begin by speaking gratitude over you. Thank you, God, for the nights that felt empty but were full of your construction. Thank you for the silence that was never absence but strategy. Thank you for the tears that were never wasted but watered roots we could not see. Thank you for loving this chosen one enough to protect them from a brightness they were not yet ready to carry. And thank you for this moment, this exact moment when their eyes finally open. I acknowledge you right now, chosen one. God sees you. God sees the weight you have been carrying when no one else noticed. God sees the prayers you whispered at 2 in the morning when the house was dark and your faith was hanging by a thread. God sees the questions you held in the silence, questions you were afraid to ask out loud because you thought asking meant doubting. God sees every quiet act of faithfulness, every time you showed up when everything inside you wanted to quit. every moment you chose to believe when logic screamed at you to stop. And now, I speak release over your life. Release the old perception that told you your waiting meant God forgot. Release. Release the timeline anxiety that measured your worth by someone else's speed. Release. Release the unworthiness that welded shut doors God spent decades building. Release. Release the comparison that stole your peace every time someone else received what you were still praying for. Release. Release the doubt that dressed itself as wisdom and convinced you that hope was foolish. Release. Release the old identity, the version of you that accepted a frequency lower than the one you were born with. Release. And release the need to understand everything before you receive anything. Release. Now, I activate what has been dormant. I activate the spiritual sight that was covered for your protection and is now ready to function at full capacity. I activate the connections that have been waiting in the wings, the right people, the right conversations, the right doors, all timed for this exact frequency. I activate the clarity that cuts through every fog, every confusion, every conflicting voice, and gives you clean, direct, unmistakable guidance. And I activate the courage to walk through the doors that your old self would have been too afraid to even approach. I speak protection over this rising. I cover this awakening from the sabotage that comes when breakthrough is close. I guard what is being built from premature exposure, from people who would question it before it is ready to be seen, from the internal voice that might try to convince you tomorrow that today was not real. What God is doing in you right now is protected, it is covered, and no force, internal or external, has the authority to reverse what has been activated in this moment. And now, hear this declaration. Let it land in the deepest part of you. I am the seer. I perceive what others cannot. I am the light bearer. I carry illumination into every room I enter. I am the pioneer. I go first, so that others can follow. I am the truth carrier. I cannot be silenced. I am the hope restorer. What others abandon, I revive. What was prepared for me is now received. What was hidden from me is now seen. What was dormant in me is now alive, and I will never go back to sleep. Do not say amen yet. I want you to sit in this frequency. Let the weight of that declaration settle into your bones. Let it reach the places that words usually cannot touch. For the next few seconds, do not speak, do not move. Just exist inside of what was just spoken over you. It is done, it is sealed, it is received, and so it is. Amen. One more thing. The person you were when you pressed play on this message is not the person sitting here right now. Something shifted. And that shift is not temporary, it is structural. It happened at the level of frequency, at the level of identity, and at the level of spiritual perception. You did not just hear a message, you crossed a threshold. You are not the person who could not see, you are the person who sees, and you will never go back. If this message brought sight to blindness, if it brought clarity to confusion, if it brought hope to what felt hopeless, let your like be your amen without words. Press it gently, not for me, but as your quiet agreement with everything that was just declared over your life. There are more revelations being prepared for your next season. Messages timed for exactly where you will be, not where you are now. Stay connected so they can find you when you need them. For those who felt called to what I shared earlier about restoring your gamma frequency, the link is in the description and the pinned comment below. Only if your spirit confirms it. And one last thing. If someone came to mind while you were listening, someone who has been unusually quiet lately, someone who looks fine on the outside, but you know something deeper is shifting inside them, someone who has been carrying a weight they cannot explain to anyone. Send this to them. Text it, email it, share it however you need to, because this might be the exact moment their eyes begin to open. This might be the confirmation their spirit has been praying for. And your decision to share it could be the reason they finally see what God prepared for them too. Go in peace, chosen one. Go with sight. Go with authority. Go with the fullness of a gamma frequency that has been restored and a perception that will never be dimmed again. The universe is no longer waiting. You have arrived. You are not leaving a message. You are leaving a season.